Did you know that most of the money in the world isn't actually physical cash? It exists only as numbers in computers. In fact, physical cash makes up only a small percentage of the total money supply. Intriguing, isn't it? Stick with me, and we'll unravel the secrets of money creation and distribution. Hello, curious minds, and welcome to my channel. Here, we explore the most intriguing facts, the most bizarre stories, and the most surprising curiosities in the world. I'm Jack, and together, we'll dive into a universe of knowledge and question, is this real or fake? Today's topic is something we all use, but few of us truly understand: money. How is it actually made? And how does it get distributed throughout the economy? The answers might surprise you. It's probably not what you think. Get ready to have your minds blown. Let's start with a fundamental question. What is money? Most people think of money as the physical bills and coins in their wallets. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. In modern economies, money is essentially anything that is widely accepted as a medium of exchange, a unit of account, and a store of value. It can be physical cash, but it can also be digital entries in bank accounts, electronic transfers, and even cryptocurrencies. To understand how money is made, we need to distinguish between these different forms. Physical currency, banknotes and coins, is typically created by a country's central bank. In the United States, that's the Federal Reserve, often called the Federal. The Fed doesn't just print money randomly, though. There's a complex process involved. First, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, for paper money, and the U.S. Mint, for coins, physically produce the currency. But that's just the manufacturing part. The amount of physical currency created is based on the demand for cash from the public and banks. If people want to hold more cash, the Fed supplies it. If they want less, the Fed reduces the supply. This is a crucial point. The Fed doesn't create wealth by printing money. It simply provides a physical form of money that already exists in the economy. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The vast majority of money isn't created by the government, but by commercial banks, the banks we all use every day. This happens through a process called fractional reserve banking. It's a bit complex, so let's break it down. When you deposit money in a bank, you might think the bank just keeps that money safe in a vault. But that's not how it works. Banks only keep a small fraction of your deposit as reserves. This is the fractional reserve part. The rest, they lend out to other people or businesses. This lending process is where the magic, or, depending on your perspective, the problem, happens. When a bank makes a loan, it doesn't typically hand out physical cash. Instead, it simply credits the borrower's account with a digital deposit. This new deposit is, in essence, new money. The borrower now has money they didn't have before, and the total amount of money in the economy has increased. This is not an illusion. It's how the majority of money is created in modern economies. It's often called credit money because it's created through the extension of credit. Of course, there are limits to how much money banks can create this way. The central bank sets the reserve requirement, which is the percentage of deposits that banks must hold in reserve. This requirement prevents banks from creating an unlimited amount of money. The central bank also influences the money supply through interest rates. Lower interest rates encourage banks to lend more, creating more money. Higher interest rates discourage lending, reducing the money supply. So, how is this newly created money distributed? It doesn't just magically appear in everyone's bank accounts. The primary way money enters the economy is through the lending process we just described. When banks make loans, they are essentially injecting new money into the system. This money is then used by borrowers to buy goods and services, pay salaries, invest in businesses, and so on. This is how money circulates throughout the economy. The government also plays a role in money distribution, primarily through fiscal policy. This involves government spending and taxation. When the government spends money, it injects money into the economy. This can be through infrastructure projects, social programs, military spending, or any other form of government expenditure. When the government taxes, it removes money from the economy. The balance between government spending and taxation affects the overall money supply and its distribution. The central bank, through monetary policy, also influences money distribution, though indirectly. By setting interest rates and reserve requirements, the central bank can encourage or discourage lending, which affects the amount of money created by commercial banks. The central bank can also buy or sell government bonds, which injects or withdraws money from the economy. These actions, known as open market operations, are a key tool for managing the money supply and influencing inflation. It's important to understand that money distribution isn't always equal. The way money is created and distributed can lead to significant disparities in wealth and income. For example, if banks primarily lend to wealthy individuals and corporations, the newly created money will tend to concentrate in their hands. This is a complex issue with many contributing factors, including economic policies, globalization, technological change, and social structures. Now, let's address some common misconceptions about money. One is the idea that the government can simply print more money to solve economic problems. While the government can, in a sense, create money through its central bank, doing so without considering the overall economic context can lead to inflation, a general increase in prices, and a decrease in the purchasing power of money. If there's too much money chasing too few goods and services, prices will rise. This is why central banks are typically independent from the government, to avoid political pressure to print money for short-term gains. Another misconception is that money is backed by something tangible, like gold. In the past, many countries used a gold standard, where the value of their currency was directly linked to a fixed amount of gold. However, most countries, including the United States, abandoned the gold standard in the 20th century. Today, most currencies are fiat currencies, meaning their value is not based on any physical commodity, but on the trust and confidence in the government that issues it. This can be a source of concern for some, who worry about the potential for governments to abuse their power to create money. Cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin, represent a different approach to money creation and distribution. These digital currencies are not created by governments or banks, but through a decentralized, cryptographic process. The supply of many cryptocurrencies is limited, which is intended to prevent inflation. However, cryptocurrencies are still highly volatile and speculative, and their long-term viability as a form of money is still uncertain. The way money is created and distributed has profound effects on society. It influences economic growth, inflation, unemployment, wealth inequality, and even political power. Understanding these processes is crucial for making informed decisions as citizens and as participants in the economy. It's also important to be aware of the debates and controversies surrounding money. Some people advocate for reforms to the monetary system, such as a return to the gold standard, the adoption of cryptocurrencies, or even the creation of public banks that would operate in the public interest, rather than for profit. Furthermore, the digital revolution is transforming the way money is created, distributed, and used. Mobile payments, online banking, and the rise of fintech companies are changing the landscape of finance. This raises new questions about privacy, security, and the role of technology in the financial system. It's likely that the future of money will be very different from what we know today. The question of whether the current system of money creation and distribution is real or fake is complex. It's not a simple matter of true or false. The system is real in the sense that it exists and functions, but it's also a social construct based on agreements, laws, and trust. It's constantly evolving, and it's subject to debate and reform. The key is to understand how it works, what its implications are, and to engage in informed discussions about how it could be improved. And now, my favorite part, your opinion. After exploring the complexities of money creation and distribution, the different forms of money, the roles of central banks and commercial banks, and the ongoing debates about monetary reform, what do you think? Is the current system fair and efficient? Are there alternative systems that would be better? And what do you think the future of money will look like? Share your theories, opinions, and reflections in the comments. Remember to maintain respect and civility, as healthy debate is always welcome. Your participation is essential to building knowledge. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, like the video, and share it with your curious friends. In the next episode, we'll unravel another intriguing mystery that will challenge your convictions. Until next time, and remember, the world is full of curiosities to be explored.